So this one day I was coming home from work and Mark had the day off. So I thought, I don't know, maybe he's gonna do the dishes or clean up a little bit at home. And I come home and there he is on the couch.
Don't judge me.
Eating chips.
Don't judge me.
And watching Power Rangers.
Don't judge me.
Just kidding.
Not
Mark's
really.
Totally great.
Although I do enjoy the Power Ranger show.
That's true.
Well, have you ever been in a situation where you've said to something, maybe you've had a habit or done something and you said, don't judge me?
Don't judge me.
Or maybe you've been in a situation where you have found yourself wanting to judge somebody else.
Guilty.
Right.
Sorry.
It's kind of...
And you're watching Power Rangers.
Right, I know. It's kind of hard. How do we decipher this as Christians? Now, we remember the part in Matthew chapter 7 where Jesus said, don't judge your neighbor. Why do you look at the speck in your neighbor's eye and you ignore the plank that's in your own eye? But in today's reading, Paul seems to say something different. And it can be hard to kind of reconcile the two. And so we kind of wanted to think about this together. And I got you thinking about Power Rangers. You probably haven't thought of the show Power Rangers since 1999. So
maybe a good thing.
There you go. Here it is. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6, it starts, when one of you has a grievance against another, does he dare to go to law before the unrighteousness of the saints? Or do you not know that the saints will judge the world? And if the world is to be judged by you, are you not incompetent to try trivial cases? Do you not know that we are to judge angels? How much more then matters pertaining to this life? Kind of, that's a little bit different than what Matthew chapter 7 says.
Typical, don't judge.
Yeah, it's actually quite the opposite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Matthew chapter 7, we're looking at judging unfairly. You know, there's the idea that the neighbor has something hugely wrong, and what are you doing? You're attacking, or you have something that's really wrong in your life, logging your eye. So you have something really wrong in your life, and what you're doing is, instead of reckoning with your own sin, you're attacking the little things that are wrong in your neighbor's eye. And so I think what's common in both these passages is not to be unfair. But clearly, we're not to say that we should never pass judgments ever at all. Clearly, it says that if we're to judge the high affairs of angels, how much more should we resolve things? That we need to know what's right and what's wrong, and to lovingly be able to talk to each other about that.
Sounds more like resolving conflict.
Yes, it does.
One,
Yes, it does.
That's like not necessarily like being judgy like we think of it nowadays, but more like, being like a judge, like figuring out what's right, what's wrong amongst people.
Absolutely, and the humility of that, of going and apologizing sometimes when you're in the wrong, and seeking reconciliation. So one time that I remember that it was in my best interest to make a judgment. I was at a military training, and I was there. I was a cadet. I wasn't an officer yet in the military, and so the officers there, they would take the cadets out sometimes, and so we were on lockdown on that drill. And so what that meant was the place where we were staying at, we were not permitted to leave, and this was put in by the colonel. Colonel said you can't leave, so we're on lockdown. Well, a particular captain decided he wanted to take some of the cadets and he wanted to take some of the enlisted and go to a strip club. And so he says, "Cadet, let's go, get in there." And so I'm there, I get off my bunk, and I look at him and I said, "I'm not gonna do that, sir." I said, I'm just not gonna do that. I'm gonna stay here tonight. And he said, this is crazy. Like, this would never be okay to say now, but he said, what's wrong? Are you gay?
Oh, wow.
I know, that was very direct. And I said, no, I'm not, but that doesn't matter. I said, I'm not going to the strip club. So that's it. So anyway, they ended up sneaking out and went to the strip club against orders. And I had some vindication though, because the MPs, the military police, locked down the base after they left. And when they came back in, they couldn't get in because everybody was on lockdown.
Oh my goodness.
So the front gate guard had to call our colonel, wake him up in the middle of the night. The colonel had to get dressed, go down to the front gate, and physically sign a piece of paper to let these guys back in.
Not good.
So that was not good. That didn't go over well for them. It was a good day to have some values.
As is every day.
There is a level of judging that I think is required, not to be in a condemning fashion, but to be in a distinguishing right from wrong.
Discerning right from wrong, knowing when to say no. And,
Absolutely.
Even if there's a consequence. I mean, it could have been possible that nothing happened to those guys, and maybe even punishment happened to you for not going. That could have happened.
Right. Absolutely.
But I think it's of course always right to stand up for what is right.
So here's your challenge this week. Go out and be judgy.
No, not judgy.
As you look at life, distinguish between right from wrong and pursue right, and you'll be a blessing. That'll be a blessing in your life, but you're also going to bless all those around you.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.